Hey friends, thanks for joining me for my read aloud of the story Leprechauns brought me. It's called That's What Leprechauns Do, and it's by Eve Bunting, and it's illustrated by Emily Arnold McCully. 3 leprechauns sat under the chestnut tree. Ari looked up at the cloud-filled sky. "It's comin'," he said, "and there's work to be done." Boo and Cal put on their red shoes and their caps and strapped their packs to their backs. "We're ready," Boo said. "But why is it always us that puts the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Especially since not a single soul ever finds it," Cole added. Ari looked from one of them to the other. "Don't be askin'," he said. "It's the leprechaun's duty, so it is. And fellows, remember, it's coming, so there'll be no time for mischief along the way." They walked in line, the one in front of the other one behind. No mischief along the way," they chanted. But when they got to Ballybunion Farm, they saw Mrs. Ballybunion's cow, Pansy, standing in a field. Ari whipped out a little bottle of red paint he kept in his backpack for leprechaun business. He ran across to Pansy. "Stand still, my lovely," he told her, and he painted her hooves scarlet red. Pansy looked down. "Pretty," she said. "Imagine Mrs. Ballybunion's face when she comes to milk you," Ari shouted. He and Boo and Carl rolled over in the grass, laughing. "She'll think I've been to a dance." Pansy did a couple of small hoppin' steps to demonstrate. The leprechauns clapped and whistled. "We'd be delighted to join you in a waltz or two," Ari exclaimed, "but we're in a desperate hurry." "I thought there was to be no mischief along the way," Boo reminded him. "Ugh, sure, but I couldn't help myself. Mischief's what leprechauns do," Ari said, "along with our more important duties." He glanced up at the tatters of clouds in the sky. "And we'd better not delay, for we've delayed enough already." But as they were passing old Jamie Bradley's house, they saw Jamie's gray woolen long johns spread out on his hawthorn hedge. The leprechauns looked at each other and grinned. Quick as a cat pounce, they ran across the hedge and stood one on top of the other and the other on top of him. Ari reached up and tied the 2 long john legs together in a tight knot. They almost fell off each other, they laughed so hard. "It would be great to stay and watch old Jamie try to put his legs into those," Boo said. "But it will be a month of Sundays before we're dry, and we've got no time to waste." They took a few minutes to somersault across Liam McCabe's garden. There was a yellow tennis ball in the middle of the road, and they rolled it along with them as they went. Miss Maud Murphy's hen, Bertie, clucked at them from behind her gate. "Bertie," Ari said, "could you be doing us a favor? Could we trundle this ball up to your nest, and could you sit on it for us? It'll be the great joke on Miss Maud Murphy when she comes to gather your eggs." Bertie put her head to one side. "It's not going to be easy sitting on that, but the 3 of you were so good to me scaring that fox away from my hen house last night. I'll do it." Carl stretched up and patted her wing. "Thank you, Bertie." They squeezed themselves through the gate and tumbled the ball with them. Then they heaved it up into Bertie's nest. She gave a trial sit on it. "I'll be sore underneath myself for a week," she grumbled, "but the thought of Miss Maud Murphy's face when she sees I've laid a yellow ball will be worth it." "Won't that beat all?" Carl gasped. "The 3 of you can't help making mischief, can you?" Bertie asked. "That's what leprechauns do," Ari told her. "Along with our more important duties," he stopped. "Is that a spitting of what I feel?" "'Tis." Boo stared up at the sky, where the sun was flickering through heavy clouds. A thin, cool rain had started to fall. "Hurry, hurry," Ari ordered. "It's come. We can't be late." They pulled their green slickers from their backpacks and settled their caps low on their ears. Anybody seeing them racing along the road would have taken them for 3 green leaves, but they were leprechauns, and they had work to do. "Get them out, boyos, get them ready," Ari said. They took their little spades from their backpacks. Then they stopped for a minute to look up at the rainbow, blue and green and yellow and pink, that was arched half across the sky. "There it is," Ari said with satisfaction. "Come on." They dashed across Pattywhacker's bog, found the place where they kept the pot of gold buried for just such a rainbow occasion, and dug it up. Ari stood in the middle of the bog. "Here," he said. The 3 of them placed the pot of glittering gold in just the right spot and watched the rainbow curve itself all the way down until it ended on top of the pot. The leprechauns settled themselves to wait. They tootled some grass stalk music. They threw raindrops at each other and ate rose hips they'd brought for snacks. They waited long, but nobody came. Once again, nobody came. You'd think somebody would find it, Call complained. Somebody will, someday, Ari said. Maybe we should put up a sign, Boo suggested. Pot of gold, this way. No, Ari said, that's not how it's done. There's a bit of magic to the finding, and a bit of luck, and a bit of imagination, too. That gold's waiting for just the right person. The rain stopped, the sun went behind a cloud, the rainbow shortened itself, then disappeared. No use waiting any longer. Call took off his hat and he wrung out the wet out of it. If we hurry, we could be in time to see Miss Maud Murphy discover Birdie's big yellow egg, he said. Boo laughed. Won't that be a great thing to see? All right then, Ari said. We'll put a rush on this. They buried the pot again in its usual place. Ari patted the smoothed down bog dirt. Don't worry, Pot, he whispered. We'll be back to get you on the next rainbow day. Now we're off to see what new mischief we can find. For besides our important duties, that's what leprechauns do. And there they are with Birdie's yellow egg. And that's the story of That's What Leprechauns Do, my friends. Thanks for joining me.